let's give some perspectives to those who have not made up their minds and who are still thinking of whether this candidate or that candidate, what qualities should I be looking at in who becomes Nigeria's next president. First and foremost, I'd like to ask you, do you suppose that there could be a surprise in the sense that perhaps a less popular or an unexpected candidate could emerge Nigeria's next president?
Look, my foundation and our foundation, we've always been involved in opinion polls since 2011. Let me tell you the number one surprise that we already know. It has been published in the papers. I've seen all the reports. Let me just give you some data, Shem. In 2011, PDP was the ruling party. Before the elections in 2011, from our opinion polls, PDP, the ruling party, and President Goodluck Jonathan had a 54% approval rating from Nigerians. 2 months ago, similar opinion polls carried out show that 40% of Nigerians don't approve of APC or PDP. 40% of Nigerians don't want to hear about APC or PDP. They believe they have both failed. So all of a sudden we find that those who don't want APC and PDP appear to be in the majority. Now that is just in terms of approval rating, because the approval rating of both APC and PDP from those polls that were published was very low. You understand me? So I'm saying that something has changed, and that's the reality. If it hadn't, we would be in the old environment where the ruling party will always be the favorites. What I'm making is that I think everybody knows that they have to walk their socks off. There's nobody that's going to sit on their own as believing that things are the same as before. First of all, why should anything be the same as before? Go and look at the data for 100 million Nigerians in poverty. Look at the unemployed youth, the millions. Some of these numbers between 2015 and now, the rise in unemployment is frightening. I don't even know how people can afford to eat when they have no income, and then inflation is galloping at 19%. So the point I'm making to you is that you get to a point where things are so bad that the only thing left on the horizon, the only thing that people are looking forward to is to if not to pull the house down, to change the rules and go for a different kind of solution. And that is why many young people appear to be excited about the elections. And please let me make it very clear. People have been saying all kinds of things that they only make noise on Twitter. Look at the Osun election. The turnout was high by recent standards. Why was it high? Because of high interest level. And the youth participated actively.
Now,
at the end of the day, the ruling party fell flat on its face.
I mean, a way to wrap up this conversation is what I would like you to tell Nigerians tonight. What or who is the kind of leader ideal for Nigeria in 2023?
Sorry, can you please repeat your question?
I was asking the qualities, or what is the ideal, or who is the ideal person to lead Nigeria in 2023?
Okay, you know, qualities, first of all, to be Nigerian president as of this day and age, given where we are coming from, I think the candidate must have a very high energy level. You see, sometimes you might think that, oh, they killed some people in Maiduguri, they killed people in Katsina. So what should we do about it? Nothing. But let me tell you one thing, in serious countries, as soon as there's a major incident, the president arrives, he comforts people, he's on the scene, he's visiting hospitals. So over and above those kinds of things, you want to see somebody who has the capacity, somebody who definitely understands all the problems. And I've said earlier, these problems are not difficult to understand. Everybody understands them. You also want somebody who doesn't even mind becoming unpopular. What is the worst thing that can happen to an incoming president? Assuming you go out there and tackle all the problems head on, even if you become unpopular. So what's the worst that will probably happen to you? That after 4 years, they won't re-elect you? Is it not better to go out there for 4 years, step on everyone's toes, cross all those who are holding back the country, put the country on the right trajectory, and if need be, fail to get re-elected 4 years later. That kind of person would be a hero. That's the kind of person we're looking for. We don't want these people that come in there on the first day, waste time, hang around doing nothing, loafing about, and then planning for re-election thereafter. As soon as presidents start planning for re-election, immediately they've lost the plot in this country. We want people who will come in, hit the ground running, tackle all the problems at the risk of being unpopular, at the risk of being voted out. That's the kind of change we're looking for. Thank you.
Mr.